average anglers. We're back to the 4th round of the Acorn Spring League. It's a random draw today, and I've managed to draw on the same bridge that I seem to be drawing on all the time, but this time on the other side. Not quite as good as peg 22, but I'll take it in this section. Who knows how it's going to fish today? We're about 10 or 15 minutes ready from the all-in. I've set an array of rigs up for all different depths and all over the place. I really don't know what's going to work. I'm not going to go through them all, but I'll talk to you about them as I'm fishing probably. So I am top of the league by 1 point, and there's lots of people 1 point behind me, about 3 people a point behind me, and another few people 2 points behind me, so it's still really, really close. So, you know, it's going to be tight. I don't feel like this is a section winning peg. I feel like 3rd or 4th would be the best I can do off this peg today. So it's like a damage limitation today. So when you see me next, we'll be fishing, so let's crack on. Right, here we go. Just at the all-in. I'm just going over to the bridge in the corner, just off the foul bank, because it's just a little bit of a nasty slope, too tight, and a reasonably flat piece I can fish to. I'm just going to tap in some 4mm, drop an expander over the top, literally 7 or 8 4mm, just drop an expander to see what happens. It's my first gambit. I have put a one-handed ball of ground bait against the bridge with some maggots, tench, and or anything else that wants to fish there. I've been a little bit more conservative with the bridge today because I'm on this side of the bridge, which is less positive generally, and also I think I've been overfeeding it the last few matches, so did bump a few fish whilst plumbing up on most of my lines, but then speaking to the other guys that are, you know, some of my friends that are fishing, they've bumped a few fish as well. Just had an indication on the float there, so there's something there. Another indication, nothing. Could be probably a liner. Tend to find with this bridge is when the fish seem to like cruise in and out from underneath it all the time, so you do get a lot of liners on these spots. And that's why I'm trying not to strike too hard, just lift, so if there's a proper bite it'll be on. It just ducked itself and bombed off. We just finally hooked one. Everything else around me seems to be hooking fish, and I was struggling. This one, you know, I had a few indications and nothing. Every time I lifted I weren't hooking anything, so this time I just waited for the indication to develop a little bit, and it didn't develop. It just ripped the elastic out, and it went, I mean, the fish went by me. It went a peg down to my left. It must be hooked in the mouth because it's hooked itself. It's just very lively today. One of these little these little 2-pounders. They're off the mark with £2. Hey. Reset the clicker. Hooked another one next put, like all of a sudden I've woke up. This one's not gone so wampy, so I'm hoping it's because he's bigger. Very delicate bite, just lifted slowly and he's on, so I'm hoping I've hooked him properly, and I'm hoping I have noticed today is the dye in the lake has really started to fade now. It's not quite as drastic as it used to be. It's not that big, but it's bigger than the last one, I think. Here we are, nice little, come back, boy out. There we are, nice little mirror. Probably £2 or £3. Got one on here. This is my 4th fish from over by the bridge. We're about 40 minutes into the match. I feel like I've laid this over its back. It kind of was weird. I sort of took it as the rig was dropping. So either it's literally sucked this bait in as I was slowly lowering the rig in, or I've laid it on its back and then it's bolted out the swim and hooked itself, but it feels like it's hooked properly. I'm just taking my time with it on purpose because I don't want to lose it. It's foul hooked. Yeah, well, there's a few fish coming out today, and it could be that it's going to be quite a tight affair. Lots of people in the section have had odd fish here. Nobody's went away with it, but it feels like there's bites to be had. And I was dripping in 4 mils and getting loads of indications, but just weren't right. And I was just about to come off it, and I thought what I'll do is I'll try feeding like twice as many 4 mils as I've been feeding, and then I quickly add a small carp over it. So I thought, oh, well, I won't put any more in. I'll go back out over that and see what's there, and then I got loads of them silly indications again. So I've just dumped another load in. Now I've had this one. There we are, but he wasn't on the deck. He was sitting. He's had it in the gob. He must have grabbed that on the way down. So there we are. I've gone under the bridge to meet down the middle and had a couple of tench, but they're really small and slow. I've gone back over to the bridge and I can't knock anything. So I've gone over to a line that I plumbed to the far bank down at the bottom of the slope in the deeper water. I've just primed it with 10 6mm pellets about 5 minutes before I went on it, and then I've just gone over with like 2 or 3 6mm in a pot. Drop this rig on with an expander on the hook. And I've had one straight away. I don't know what this is. It feels like it. I mean, the way the bite was very delicate. It feels like it's hooked in the mouth. Could be a big tench, to be honest. It's a long fish. Just. Oh yeah, that's a big tench. I thought it might be. I wasn't expecting that, but I'll take it. At the moment it's really hard to catch anything if these start coming. Well, he weren't getting off there, was he? He was, the hook sort of twisted itself in. There we are. Oh, guys, it's 1:45. I've had virtually nothing since the last time I spoke to you. It's really hard. Everyone's struggling. Odd couple of people in my section are catching, which is really frustrating. Come down to them. I've tried my deep sort of margin line that I thought I was going to catch on with a hard pellet, but it just hasn't worked. And I've come down to a sort of shallower margin line, still away from the bank. I found a little plateau. It's been sprinkling in some 4 mils, and I've foul hooked one. Now I finally got one out. I finally got one in the mouth. It's quite absolutely wild, this fish. It's a little 2-pounder again. I had him on the maggot. I swapped from the expander to the maggot because I weren't sure if they were having the expander today. A couple of bites on the maggot, so I'll just stick with it for now. And if I keep getting bites, I'll swap to the expander and see whether they want that again. That put me up to 11-pounder carp and probably about 4 pounders. I'm probably on 15 pound, just over halfway. And that probably puts me nowhere in the section at the moment. The guy next to me on my right foul hooked 4 decent fish and landed them. On my left's caught a few fish. Peg 15's had a few fish. Peg 26 had a few fish. So I'm miles off the pace. But you know, there's nothing I can do about it because I can't get a bite on anything. It's the first bite I've had in a while. So I'm going to get back to you when hopefully I've had a few more. Right guys, a couple of hours to go, just over a couple of hours to go. It's still fishing really, really hard. At the moment, I'm getting a couple of bites over in the deeper water, and then down to my right in a margin, I'm getting some bites, but I'm not really catching carp. I've caught a decent bream, a small tench, I have caught one small carp in the margin down to my right. But like, so over where I'm fishing now, I've put some micros in at the bottom of the shelf, and down in the right I've big potted some maggots. Went over the big potted maggots and had a nice skimmer. And I had a tent, then I've had a perch, then I've put some more in and gone over here where I'd big potted it. When I say big potted, I'd used a big pot to top it up, but I hadn't filled it or anything. Sort of like a good portion with micros. And I'm just going over this with an expander now just to see. I've had a small bite tench first put, and I've had a missed bite second put. So hoping that something decent's going to come out of this line as well. It's 3 o'clock, so I've got an hour and a half left, and I'm just keep rotating around my lines. I've got one over on the far bank with micros, I've got one down the margin with maggots now, and I've got one in the deep at the bottom of the shelf with feeding with 6mm pellets. This fish that I'm playing now has just come from that line, the 6mm line. I've just had a nice bream off it as well, which is nice. I've had a couple of nice bream today actually. The bream are getting a look in, and this, it feels like a better fish. This 6mm line, I feel like it could be the thing to get me out of jail if I'm going to get out of jail. You know, there's people catching odd fish, and I really don't know where I am in amongst these people, but I do feel like I'm way off the pace of other people in our section. You just don't know. This is definitely a better fish. I feel with its big head lunges, it could be another blooming tench. I'm trying to keep it away from my swim where I've just hooked it, but I'm also cautious about how I'm playing it, because you know, I'm having to wait long times to get bot fish. So I might have another look on this line after this one, because if there's a few of these down there, then we could put a little run of these together, and all of a sudden we'll be doing well in our section. Like I say, in third or fourth I'll be happy with. Third I'll be over the moon with. Fourth I'll take, but really I'd like to think I can get a third from this peg, from the section. I don't think this is a tench now, it's far too powerful, so I think this is a big carp. The head nods tell me that it's a big carp. There he is, yeah, it's a big common. That's what we want, get him back in the running. And he's swam into the net nicely. Thank you very much. Mr. Carpy, that's a nice little 7-pounder. It's a bit slim to be any more than that. Just starting another line up down to my left, and just in the top kit in hand. Just throwing some 6mm down there and fishing, feeding them, just to try and give myself another line, thinking maybe nearer the bridge is going to be better for these fish. And here we go. Oh, missed him. Rushed him into the net there. So we've got 45 minutes left now, maybe 40 minutes, and I'm still a little bit behind. I feel like the guy on the peg next to me. In fact, I think I'm getting beat from both sides at the moment. Yeah. Steady on. I've just fished down the right hand margin over the maggots, so it seems like a few fish down over them maggots now. This is the second one. I didn't film the first one because I completely forgot to turn the cameras on. I think this is a little tench, to be honest. I'm just going to top this up with some more maggot and go on it. I might have another look, I don't know what to do for the best. I've got a little, I don't know if you can see down there, but I've got a little line right there I've had a couple of carp from, but the last carp went through that line, so I'm trying to let it settle. So maybe I will have another little look over the maggot line. We're running out of time, only got 20 minutes left. The fish hooked on my right hand pellet line, so I'm trying to keep him out the left hand pellet line so that I can have a fish from that one in a minute. I got him nicely, just days, or 2 pounder. Keep away from the platform at the minute. Right, this might be the last fish I hook of the day. I've got another 10 minutes according to my stopwatch, but sometimes my stopwatch is out. Feels like he's a better one. Oh my god, he's a beast. He's a proper one. Looks like an alright tangle then. Oh, we got him in quick. Lucky. Oh, that's what we want. That's a big chunk of weight added to the net. Maybe we can sneak one more, that'll be nice. It's my best chance this swim. It's produced all my